Hello, good afternoon. Happy June to you guys. Well, it seems happy for most. Being an expat in Canada seems a little crazy seeing all the chaos that's happening within the US. It almost seems like an episode or a clip from The Purge, the movie. People are just seems like they've looking for that excuse to go crazy. But if you guys are new to following me, you can follow me anywhere up here on Twitter, very active on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, live on YouTube right now. So if you guys have questions, please feel free to ask. Got that fixed this time. And LinkedIn, Facebook, my website, cjntrade.com, and of course here on Tocker as well. Not just on Tocker TV, but I do have my live channel that I go live every morning, building my watch list that I send out as a newsletter there. So I just want to go forward as well and give you guys my disclaimer. No, go backwards then. Whoops, I deleted it, I guess. That everything that you see here is for educational purposes, and please go ahead and trade with proper risk management. There are varying degrees of risk in trading all sorts of trading instruments, securities instruments, and no past performance is indicative of future performance. All right, let's go move forward. So I do trade around the dark pools, and if you guys are interested in learning more about it, please come and join me in the training pit. That is where we teach people how to learn how to trade around the dark pool. Definitely changed my viewpoint on the market and also how to trade around the dark pool. All right, let's get out of this right here and move forward with the SPY for today, right? So everyone always looks at the indexes to see the health of what is happening in the market. You guys know I do follow the dark pools, and right now we had this large area right here for about 3 weeks where we just sort of went sideways on the index. That was during earnings season, the bulk of earnings season. We went up, hit the top, butted up here against about 294, came back down, hit the 20 simple moving average, 280 area, 279, back up again, back down, back up, and finally last week we broke above. We went ahead and we tested the 200 simple moving average right here. This blue line came up and we weren't successful to go ahead and break up above this yellow dotted line, really the 305.70 area right here with strength. Again, we're getting close to testing it right now, 305.56 right now. We could potentially test that 305.70 area again today. However, we might see another test back down to the 200 simple moving average before we move forward. Let's just zoom it in a little bit right here. Right? So we had this price action, right? We came up, we tested it. Up here, we're testing again. Are we going to have that third test and M to go down? Today, we are in the middle of the price action. On Friday, it was really awesome. We were able to go ahead and catch that live price action coming in. So let's see, 12:45. They tend to like to sneak some trades in, right, with live price action. So let's go ahead and put that auto on. Boom, look at that, 12:45 again. So this is a 30-second chart. Don't usually look at it. However, I have been noting 12:45, they tend to throw some volume in. And sometimes we will see a corresponding dark pool print. So let me just run right over here and see 12:47. Let's go ahead and let me check and see. Hey, do we have any large trades over? I'm gonna search for 50,000. Oops, I put in 50 million. We don't want that. And actually, I'm looking at the price. So hold on 2 seconds while I check that for you guys and see if we are getting a real-time print right here on this 30-second chart. Again, the low of that candlestick was 305.50 and the high of 305.57. Have not had a really big print above. Actually, we had 304.41 at 11:45, but nothing since then. We had 58,000 at 305.51. So right now, it looks like we are holding above. We broke above, went right there, 305.51, 58,000 shares. And just for fun, let's check the other indexes too and see if that volume came in as well, since it happened coincidentally on the Qs on Friday, a little bit right there. Apple, we'll look at the majors. And I'm going to show you guys the best way to look up the ETFs and the ETFs database. So a little bit of volume there too. So I don't know, maybe these algos are written 1245, 1246. That's when they go ahead and they lay their position. Could be an absolute coincidence. So let's go back to our 45-minute chart here. So I'm going to erase this drawing. For me, I really like to look at the 45-minute chart, and I want to see that it's riding this purple dotted line now, right? So we might have a pullback down to that 301.45 area, potentially. You know, look, we came up, we tested it, it pulled back. Came back Friday, a little bit of a lower high, right? Right here. And we could come up and potentially test that again. If we do break through from there, we could have some amazing action again up to that 308 area, right up here where I have that 308, 309, 310. You can see I've got some dotted lines, some alerts set up if we were to go ahead and break above that area. However, the price action today has been sluggish. We do see that we're getting a little bit of descending volume. I will not use these statistics as a reason to get in, more to look at it as a reason to get out. Hey, look, we hit up here and then it pulled back and pulled back down. Let me go forward, move it a little bit right here. So again, we're coming back up. We're not in that overbought area, but when we do hit that overbought area, we tend to have a little bit of a pullback. Potentially could happen, right? It happened up here, pulled back, went to 306, down to 299. 306, a bit of a pullback down to the 302.50 area. And now we're testing that 306 area again, roughly 305.70. We might come back down. We might go ahead and test this area right here, that 303 area. Even if we break down below this low wick of pre-market, we could run back down and come back down and test down here, that 300 range. So looking for it as when we get extended away from those averages, it tends to snap back, find more strength, and continue forward. So overall, in the big picture, looking more bullish, feel like there could be potentially a bit of retracement in moving forward on the SPY. So that to me is going to carry sentiment-wise over to the larger indexes. I mean, excuse me, over to the larger stocks too, right? So we do have Microsoft as well. You guys know I follow all of these, right? Because they are going to have impact. We broke above and we were able to go ahead and close above this trend line with higher than normal volume on Friday, right here, right? So here there seems like potential more addition. Let me slide it over off of that watermark a little bit for it to go to the upside, right? But we need to go ahead and have that big volume come in. It needs to go ahead and come in. It's been riding these moving averages. We were able to somewhat break out of this downward wedge right here on Microsoft, had a bit more higher than normal volume on Friday. So they could bring it back down. They could consolidate, add more to their potential position, and then take it even higher for that next leg up. As long as we're going to go ahead and hold this trend line, feeling bullish as well on Microsoft and Apple as well. Let's check Apple out. Apple, we broke this trend line and we're breaking above it. Would need, in my opinion, to really go ahead and break above here, that 323. You can see back in February. Again, we broke the trend line from the highs in February on over here, and we had higher than normal volume again on Friday, and we were able to close above it. Now, you guys hear me talk about the indexes all the time and what stocks are in it. So let's go and look quick over here, ETF database, amazing resource. I'm all about sharing resources and trying to help you guys profit even more. So again, if you guys want to come to the training pit, that's what we're all about there, is really helping people. So hi, Al Khadjori, Asif. FX Box will check EV, and we'll check Tilray and VTIQ today, guys. So those are some of the people on my YouTube channel. If you guys are there, you guys have questions, put them in the chat or Tocker TV, Twitch, or Facebook, and Mike and Zach will share them with me. Okay, so if you guys are curious, hey, you know what? I know that the index is having a major movement. I want to see what stocks that could potentially affect, right? You could say, hey, Microsoft, #1, Apple, #2. If you wanted to see the full 500 holdings, you just Google SPY holdings and you can check them daily if you want to. But it's really important to know, like, there's one that's really moving today, and that is jets, in the jet sector, right? Airlines overall. A lot of people, we just had the Boeing MAX 737 get approved to go back online. I know somebody that just traveled on a flight from LA to Charlotte recently, said it was packed like sardines, no social distancing there. So they are trying to go ahead and bring all the money back into these airlines as possible. So looking at that, you can say, hey, look, they have 11% cash for this JETS index. It's as much as they're holding for Southwest. Are they going to go ahead and add into Southwest? Not sure. But hey, this is up today, 68 cents, 4.5% on the day. So looking at that, hey, what are the major holdings? All right, we've got Love, we've got American, we've got Delta. This major holding is Love. So let's go on over and let's check that out. So when we see the dark pool prints come in, sometimes we'll see them come in on ETFs, and sometimes we'll see them come in on stocks. So we are curious. We're looking at it. Hey, look, we might have a potential cup and shoulder. Excuse me, cup and handle here. Making up a new term, right? It's been a long day already. Quarantined with the kids. All right, so here we've got the cup and the handle. So if we measure that depth, and we break out, right, from our bottom down here, and we're able to go ahead and break this 35 area, that 35 could be $11.78, $11.80 potentially to add to the breakout of the handle. So really I would add it down here. This is where our breakout happened. So $43, $45, $44 potentially. So right on up here. So looking to hit that purple trend line as a rough target for a swing for Love. So it could still have a nice 30% move available in Love. You know, if we look at it again, AAL. Right here. This one's sort of floundering, but anytime you see, all right, we've got this price action right here. It's just going sideways, right? We had the low down there, but if we are able, that didn't draw the rectangle for me. This could be a long-term position that's being laid, right? Let's go ahead and bring it up to 1290. Come on, stick with me. Right? If we go ahead and we're able to break out above that 1290 right here, then hey, this could have a nice move. Look at how long it took, and look at all that volume, right? They could be laying the groundwork for a big move one way or the other. Much like up here, it was just sort of going sideways. Boom, we had dark pool prints. Hello, down the hill we went, right? Well, we've had this large area of consolidation. We are above the 50 simple moving average today. So there's that potential move, right? If we start to get dark pool prints on these, I haven't looked to see if we've gotten dark pool prints on it as of today, but if we do, we could have that move up. This was the fake out, right? Went up here, pulled back, and now we're in that potential upward motion again. Potential move, it could go to the upside again. We've had all this volume after earnings down here. Again, we'll not use the stochastics to get in or out, but we'll pay attention to it. All right, so I do have my list over here. We had Zoom. Look at Zoom, massive breakout today on my trading list. So I said, hey, if it breaks out above 185, potential move to the upside. Look at that. Now I'm telling you guys, if you want some stocks that have that volatility to move every day, come and sign up for my newsletter. ticker Tocker. It's so inexpensive, $48 a month. Look, if you'd had 2 shares, you would have paid for it today, right? 2 shares of Zoom, you could have made it in one trade, all right? Work as well. Work had a nice potential move, had a little bit of a run up right at open, still in that upward trend, just breaking out again right now, potential move to the upside there. Zynga, another one. Zynga was up, had a massive gap up, pulled back. Hey, look, we're in the no trade zone right now, but we're still in that upward motion. We're still following those trend lines up. So yes, that support held fairly well right here at 940. Could have been a low risk entry for potential long buying just above that support. ING, another lower price stock. So you can see I give you guys variety of price ranges as well. ING sort of in a no trade zone today, right? It need to break up above here or need to break down. Right now, it's just going sideways. When there's that sideways price action, not the best time to trade something, okay? If you want to trade with volatility, wait. The higher probability trades. If you guys have not already read Reminiscence of a Stock Operator, pick up that book. It'll talk about that higher probability trade when you wait for it to go ahead and break a certain point. You're going to have a higher probability that you will have a success rate with that trade. So try not to get in just before the resistance. We talked about resistance and support on Friday. So you don't want to get in before that move, before it breaks. You want to get in if there's a volume, right? So hey, United came here, tested it right in the open, came back, bounced again. Look at what happened. More volume came in. When we hit it here, right? More volume came in. More volume is coming in at this point. It is now flipped to be support at this point in time. Not guaranteed that it won't break. You know, there's going to always be less buyers, but you see how many buying wicks you had right here off of that level, right? So if I do read the comments bar, I will check it out for you. And we've got Pfizer. This was my potential shorts, right? So tested that short level. Hey, if we test it and we're able to break down potential short here. Sure enough, there was a trade right at around 1040 right here on down until 1120. Again, CGC. CGC was down on the day and again, came up, tested, and it pulled back down. You guys can see time and time again that these levels work really, really well. All right, so I do have some questions here. AESE was a good one for ASIF here. Oops, that's when I type it in properly. AESE. All right, so yeah, AESE was nice for sure. Right off the open, breaking out at the 450, 460 mark, right? And then it came back and look at how that area turned to be an area of support, right? We also have Par, who's talking about Tilray. So Tilray today came up. You can see it broke through the 200 simple moving average and more volume came into it, right? Many people will use the 200 simple moving average as an area to get in on the 5-minute chart, on the daily chart, on an hourly chart. These averages are very important. We'll talk about averages. I'll give you guys a little sideshow on Friday as well about averages. So you can see, hey, look, it came up here and now we have a test. It tested 1023. I just want to see for curiosity. There you go. Pretty cool, right? Otherwise, you would have thought, hey, did this just stop in midair? There's a target right there. You guys can learn more about it in the training pit if you want to learn those secrets of those targets. All right. And VTIQ. The VTIQ. Now, for these people, are you guys curious to know about day trading or just swing trading on these? Because I can look at the bigger picture too. Yes, these are in an upward trend. I don't know. This one's got that potential move to go ahead to the upside, continue, but look, it's really far extended away. Would I potentially swing this one being so far extended away? No. That's higher risk to me. as a potential swing trade here. When you come in here and you're looking at it and you're like, hey, all right, we pulled back. We had this inside day. We had a bit more volume that came in down here, and we're right here, right close to the moving average. Yes, that's a nice potential move to the upside. It went ahead and broke this downward trend, wasn't able to go ahead and break above, but we were able to continue with that upward motion. The buyers came in buying wick, and that was a nice setup for potential swing to the upside. Oh, my pleasure, Parth. All right, REGN, another one. Someone gave me a shout out, Samarin. So REGN, pharmaceuticals. I try personally to stay away from the pharmaceuticals, Samarin, because they could come out with an offering to do fundraising, to offer more shares, because maybe they're looking to add another drug to their pipeline or another phase 1, phase 2 funding. So they always potentially have that funding that could come and get them. They could have a potential FDA news coming out, negative or positive. The positives are great, but how many times does that positive happen? And how many times have you seen a pharmaceutical just lose 30% value overnight? This does have higher volume coming into it right now. We are hovering on the VWAP right here. I'm going to actually turn that up. All right, sorry about that, guys. Technical difficulties. If you guys have not looked into Mercury in retrograde, it is coming up. I think it's rearing its head, and unfortunately, sometimes you just have to reboot or recycle, redo. It's just a matter of patience, right? So I was trying to explain here that with REGN, you've got this area right here of that consolidation or distribution, right? And then it came down to the 50 simple moving average, and we saw this volume come in down below, right? So with that volume coming in and it broke above, boom, off to the races, right? It doesn't mean that it can't do this. It could come, we're up here, it could come back down, and then it could go up even further. So I don't know, Samarin, if you are in the, if you're in REGN, but it might have a bit more of that pullback before it goes to the upside, in my opinion. As you can see, when you're further away, remember that rubber band. When you extend the rubber band out, whoop, it wants to contract back in. Then it can run back out again, and then it comes back in. It will never typically snap all the way back, but much like the Bollinger Band, same thing. When you reach that outlying point, the standard deviation, everything like that, it always wants to pull back in and contract in a little bit. And then momentum builds up again, and then it contracts back in. So when you're also looking at Elliott wave theory, so you have that wave 1, then the contraction, and then wave 3. It goes even further with more power. All right, super excited to go forward with the CMT. I was bummed that it was delayed due to Corona, but it gives me extra time since my little ones are home. All right, you guys have any other questions that you want to look at? I didn't talk about the cues. So the cues are important because they are highs right now, right? We are almost at all-time highs. You need to go ahead and break out above 237, 238 to make that happen. We are getting very close. We're at 234. Now, would I be surprised to see some massive volume come in right when we hit that high and have it curl back and contract? You guys have heard me say it. Look at the chart. Every time it goes above, what does it do? It contracts. Above, contracts. Above, contracts. So would not be a surprise that if we happen to go up here, right? We go up, whoop, we hit a high, and we come back. And then we could go and stair step up again. All right? CRM, Twitter, and Netflix. I'll check it out. Thank you, Cam. So let's go look at it, guys. CRM. I love when you guys share, too. Love the interaction. And where everybody's coming from. I know ASIS in San Francisco. All right, hourly chart. It's just butting up against those moving averages. Did you see that, Cam? So back here on the daily, let's do this really quickly. Let's put up 2 charts and let's get rid of these to go ahead and speed it up. Maybe that's what was happening. I had too much going earlier. So right here on the daily chart, it's butting up right against here. Yes, we had higher than normal volume. If we're able to go ahead and close above that candlestick, nice potential move to the upside. But look at this. We had this higher volume doji here, and then we have this hammer down here. And right now, where they end with this candlestick for the day is going to be crucial, right? I know it looks really busy, but look, we're also hitting this point up here. So in my opinion, on the, I like the 45-minute chart. That's my favorite for trend. All right. That was actually the SPY, so hold on 2 seconds. Let me get CRM on it. Awesome. We are just coming up to some more moving averages right here. So it looks like a lot of resistance for me, potentially. It would need to break out above 177.20 before it could go on up and potentially test this yellow line, 181.50 up there. But you can also see it even on the daily chart, right? So you see where I'm moving it right here. You've also got that 4 EMA right there, that pink line over here on this chart. So when you put the 2 together, you can really see that big picture with the shorter time frame. So you can see, hey, look, the people that are trend trading it on a longer time frame, yes, it's butting up against that moving average. Lower risk actually for short entry right now, in my opinion, Cam. Not the best time to trade. I would wait, until about 2:30 because I feel that minions or the algos are this hour. They could be taking it up here simply for the fact of a better entry for a short, right? The past 2 days, we've been lower. And if we close lower right here, even though it had higher than normal volume, if we close lower, in my opinion, that would be confirmation that they are starting to short right here. Let's check out Twitter, right? And Twitter, who knows if potentially they will shut down Trump for violating terms of agreement, right? So same scenario, the averages that are curling down. Yes, it's found support here. We had higher than normal volume that it opened right up here on this average and pulled back. And in my opinion, we're in a downward trend. It's hovering right here around this moving average, but the volume's dropping off. And this yellow line right here, we're below that, we're just above it actually. 31.69 and we're at 31.67. So in my opinion, it might come back down here, test again before you would have a double bottom off of this moving average right here and then have it go higher. But I feel like we've got these averages, everything's curling over at the moment. So feeling more bearish on it. And Netflix. Let's check out Netflix. You know what, Kurt? I was there in Chicago with my dad, and it was Jerry Garcia's last concert, and I was so mad he wouldn't let me go, and that was his last concert ever before he passed away. Not that I was a super deadhead, but I really wanted to go and see them once in my life and never got the opportunity, and I was right there. All right, Netflix. 50 simple moving average right here. Volume came into it. It's still coming up here, and potential test, right? Got the moving averages here. Might see it come all the way up to 432. That one might have a nice move to it, up to 432. But again, we're in that downward motion. Yes, we found this bottom here. Looks almost like a double bottom right here. 1, 2, with higher than normal volume, but we've got our volume descending. It is the middle of the day. So the potential is there, but look at this. Something else, when that volume is so low, looking down here, yet the price action is going up, is it being manipulated, right? Are they manipulating it to take it up with really low price action? All right, Mike or Zach, do you guys have any questions on your ends from anybody? Or anyone else on my YouTube channel? Any questions? I don't want to eat up too much of the time. No questions? Awesome, okay. Another one that I'm really watching, I'll let you guys know, nugget and gold, right? So there's a 45-minute chart. Nugget come up potentially, in my opinion, and test this moving average right here, right up around 74.46, right? You can see we're starting to curl up over those moving averages. We haven't had the crossover happen yet of the fastest one. However, we just broke above the 20 simple moving average. That is the midline for the Bollinger Band. And Mike, I'm not sure, could somebody, I don't know who it was that asked that question about, could you explain your charts? This is TradingView. What question is it about the charts in particular? What do you want to know about the charts? So with Nugget, we found that bottom down here. Volume has been coming in. It looks really busy, so let me clean this up for you guys. I'm used to seeing it because I have those targets on there. But gold overall, Nugget broke this downward trend. You can see right here on this candle, we had, whoops, over a little too far, looking at the wrong screen. We didn't have higher than normal volume. However, the next day we had a bit more volume, right? We had this candlestick abandoned down here, and we reversed off of it. And we had higher than normal volume on that candlestick. Oh, tips on indicators. You know what? You guys can see I really use black and white, right? So I have black as my background, white for my candlesticks. These yellow ones are inside candles with the setting for TradingView. And I want to see where the price action is in relation to the moving averages. And then I have the volume down below. So that's more what I'm going to be using. I'm not really going to be using the any other RSI or stochastics or anything like that to get me into a trade. More looking at the averages and the price action and the volume, because the story of the candle is written with the volume and the demand, right? So each chart has a little story to it. And you can say, all right, so here, this wick at the top, those are the sellers taking it down. But they opened it up higher, and then the buyer stepped in this day because they had a buying wick at the bottom, right? And it closed up at the top. And same thing on the next couple days. We had some buying wicks, oh, and then they dropped down. But Nugget is going to be an ETF based off of the gold miners. So you want to also know what's going on with the gold sector overall. GDX, same thing. It had a trend line. My trend line disappeared. There we go. We had a trend line here, and we look this day prior, very similar to the Nugget chart, right? This is gold miners as well. So GDX had that volume that came into it right here. We opened up above it. We're above the moving averages. It's starting to curl back up. This one came up. Look, you see how I mentioned that same moving average, this one came up and touched it today, right? So we could go ahead and break up potentially even further. That could just be the start of the move. And we might go and test right over here at the 35.50 mark, right here, later on this week, potentially. Same thing, we are above the 20 simple moving average. So for indicators, I'm really trying to use the price action and the moving averages, not so much anything else besides that in the volume. I hope that helps you guys. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up for today. Again, let me pull this up. If you guys are new to following me, this is going to be the best place where you guys can learn all about me. You guys can follow me, shoot me questions. Best place if you guys really want to learn about the dark pools and trading around the dark pools is over at the Training Pit, and that is thedarkpools.com if you guys want to learn more about it. And we're happy to teach you guys and really help you guys profit. The market is all about trading against the computers, in my opinion. And the more that we work together as retail traders, no one is better than the other. We're all profiting against the market. And if we all profit, we all win. So have a great week. I will see you on Friday. Carpe Profit, seize those profits one trade at a time. Bye, guys.
The risk of loss in trading commodity interests can be substantial. You should therefore carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you in light of your financial condition, and considering whether to trade or to authorize someone else to trade for you. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
The Tocker app brings the powerful trading technology tool